and failed, get up again. Destiny will choose you in the end. If you don't make the choice and you don't use your voice, someone else will speak for you instead. What you want is just within your reach, but you gotta practice what you preach. You pay with sweat and tears and overcome your fears. Never let the fire inside you leave. I can't, two letters apart, one step away from being lost in the dark. Just shine your light like a beautiful star. Show the world who you are, who you are. Yeah, there's another part of you no one sees. There's a fire that's underneath. Baby, don't you know you were meant to be, born to be, meant to be. Iconic, 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 iconic. I'm no good and I'll be great. Say I have to fight and I can't wait. Standing in the wings, a butterfly that stings. I will rise above 'cause it's my fate. I can't, two letters apart, one step away from being lost in the dark. Just shine your light like a beautiful star. Show the world who you are, who you are. Yeah, there's another part of you no one sees. There's a fire that's underneath. Baby, don't you know you were meant to be, born to be, meant to be. Iconic, 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 iconic. Two letters apart, one step away from being lost in the dark. Just shine your light like a beautiful star. Show the world who you are, who you are. Yeah, there's another part of you no one sees. There's a fire that's underneath. Baby, don't you know you were meant to be, born to be, meant to be. Iconic, 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 to be a superstar. That's exactly what you are. Born to be a superstar. That's exactly what you are. Iconic, iconic.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to, what am I doing tonight? I'm doing Gay Mass. Thanks for listening. It is show number 6 of 2015 of the 365 shows I'm planning to do this year. So thanks for listening. If you're listening live or listening in the archives or wherever you're listening from, thank you, thank you, thank you. You can always find me at offlimitshow.com. You can find me on Spreaker.com, also on iTunes, and also on I don't know, other places. Pride48.com. You can go there as well. But thanks for listening to the show. I am talking tonight about, hi, I'm gay. And what I mean by that is, people who may actually identify as gay, as I do, of course, but it is their entire identity. And so I wanted to talk briefly about that and a few other things, and then move on for the night. It's gonna be a short night. I have to get up early tomorrow. So I just want to say that first of all, last night there was an earthquake during the show. That was interesting. Of course, you I listened back to it, and you couldn't hear the actual shaking of the house like I could when I was screaming like a little girl about the earthquake. But hopefully that's not going to happen tonight. We had, I think they said 11 or 12 earthquakes yesterday in the course of 24 hours anyway, and that is insane. And so everyone in the neighborhood is like, oh my God, I need to get earthquake insurance. I need to call my agent. And I did exactly that today, and I actually talked to my agent, Allstate, and asked them if they carried it, and they do as a separate policy for an additional $1,000 a year in Texas. And I was like, oh, okay, fine. And then I talked to some neighbors, and they said that they got quotes of like $45 or $45 and $100 a year with a 2% deductible. I was like, what? And so I'm thinking I might switch from Allstate to State Farm or some other company that like my neighbors have, because that's crazy. But I don't know if it's worth it just to switch for an earthquake, which probably will never actually be a huge one here. But as I said last night, they keep getting worse and worse and worse. So it may actually have a big one, and I'm afraid that might actually happen. That's why I want to have the insurance in case it does. So anyway, but tonight, fortunately, that won't happen, and tonight we're all good. But I wanted to talk about, hi, I'm gay, and what I meant by that is what I said earlier. I think it's important that gay people identify themselves, and I don't mean in that way, like, hi, I'm gay. It's the first thing you say out of your mouth. Obviously, that's tongue-in-cheek or sarcasm. But I do think it's important that gays come out whenever possible, wherever possible, and whatever walk of life they may be from, because visibility is very important, and without it, we kind of cease to exist. And a lot of people, when I talk to them about this particular topic, about the visibility of gays in society, like in a pride parade, and a lot of gays are like, oh, pride parades are so stupid because it's just like all the freaks and all the weird, whatever. No, we're all fucking freaks. It's not just, the leather daddies and the drag queens and the twinks and their thongs or whatever. It's everybody is a freak if you're gay, and everybody's a freak if you're a minority. Everybody's a freak if you're everybody is a freak in some way. And I've always valued greatly pride parades because they are important to the movement, the gay movement, because they have obviously served different functions now than they did when they began, when people were really struggling just to be identified and understand that there is a struggle and to have equality. We still have that obviously as part of it. But for me, it's about the visibility. And why is visibility important? It's important because if you have pride parades, this is what I think the function is. If you have a pride parade, it means you can't be ignored. It means the people who don't believe that gay people should have equality in this country can't just act as if you do not exist. They have to acknowledge your existence, and therefore have to deal with whatever it is you're demanding in terms of your civil liberties and your rights. So that's why pride parades are important. It's not about the sex or what's happening in not sex, but the sexuality or what's necessarily happening in them in terms of what people are wearing or how they're dressed. It's about expressing oneself and being free to do so, and saying, I'm here. No, you cannot make me go away. I'm here, I'm queer, get used to it. That's basically what they're saying by that. So I am definitely a proponent of that. But that's the same reason I'm a proponent of being openly gay and being, coming out wherever you can, especially celebrities and sports figures and people like that, because they are obviously so visible and people look up to them and people actually care what they think. And if they are on the side of gay rights and gay liberty, then civil rights and liberties, then people who may have previously been homophobic may change their mind because of what their icons think. And often that's the case, as is the case when you know someone who's gay, in your family, or someone comes out to your family or friends or whatever, that changes your perspective. once you know someone and it's close to home and not just in the abstract. So that is why I find it important to be openly gay. And but what I wanted to talk about in this particular thing is there are some gays that all they do is identify as gay. That is their entire identity. Being gay is their life. And people who are enmeshed in gay culture in terms of traditionally gay culture, I mean, like, or historical, I should say, like going to the bars every night and just have gay friends, all gay friends, and all the same as them, and and just all they do is hang out with gay people and whatever. And fat hags don't count as not gay. So by the way, so I think it's important for people to branch out and to be a part of the culture as a whole. It's important also to have those friends, the gay friends and whatever around you, and to stay connected to them, of course. But I also think it's important that we are open-minded enough to allow ourselves to be part of the larger culture as a whole. Because if we just isolate ourselves away from mainstream society, if you want to put it that way, then we are easily forgotten. Basically, just what I just said about the Pride Parade. So it is important, I think, to not just identify as gay and have your entire life revolve around gay people, live in the gay neighborhood, go to the gay places, only go to gay establishments or whatever. And there are people I've known throughout my life who are like that. And on one hand, I understand it. I mean, I certainly try to patronize gay establishments when I can. I try to support gay people if I like them or if I have nothing against them when I can. I certainly do that, and that's not what I mean. I just mean where you refuse to talk to someone who's not gay. I mean, people who are so vehemently or aggressively gay that they're just like so gay that that's all they are. That's their entire life. So I was trying to say that that's really kind of not what you want to do. Like, hi, my name's John. I'm gay. Every time you meet somebody, do you have a problem with that? And so I think it's important for us to be everywhere. And for the most part, we are. For the most part, gay people are enmeshed in the majority of different types of subcultures that society has to offer. It's not as if we aren't and we don't exist. We are everywhere. We do exist everywhere. But it is important to remember that we have a job to do, and it is to make sure that our lives are seen and understood to be equal to that of everyone else's. Until that has happened, we will consistently have to fight for our rights and our fair share. The other thing I was thinking of is that one day gay people are going to have full equality under the law, and if not more morally, or if not in people's minds and hearts everywhere. So when that happens, excuse me. So when that happens, I think, what's the next step? What do we fight for after that? Obviously, we try to, make sure that we maintain those rights and make sure that we keep those things that we fought for so long. But we also want to be sure to, in my opinion, I think what we should do is redirect, some of our efforts to other causes equally as important. One being transgender rights. And I think even though transgender rights are considered part of our fight, GLBTQIA, whatever, I think it is a different, fight, because, gay people are getting our rights right now in terms of marriage equality, in terms of, federal recognition of our rights and our relationships and equal tax treatment, and many other types of rights, the right to adopt and so forth. So that's great, but what about the transgender people who are part of our GLBTQIA community? What about those people whom are, yes, they are still getting their rights as well to some degree, but not in the same fashion and not in the same at the same pace. So I think that's one of the next frontiers is transgendered rights, and then intersex rights, people who are intersex or people who are asexual or whatever. I mean, the list goes on and on. Where do you really end? But my point is, until everybody has equality for whatever it is they are, or whomever they are, then no one really does. And so that's why the fight always has to go on. I also think, and someone had said, I can't remember who it was,